weed in safes, I got weed in states, I got weed in states, I got weed in vapes, I got weed in case, I got weed in closets, gotta close the drapes. This that plug talk, not no plug walk. You could Google me, that's plug talk.
What's up, Plug Talk? You don't get it. You still don't get it, do you? Nah, you don't get it. So before anything and everything, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop a like and a comment, my nigga. Help me help you help me, my nigga. Now let's really get straight to it. I know a lot of you guys told me that YouTube is burying my videos in the algorithms, that you can't find it unless you type it word for word. So I understand how you guys feel. This is why there's no intro on it. This is not even dealing with the herb directly anyways. But today, we're going to be using this Earthbox Junior as a worm bin, okay? I never done this before, so hopefully this shit works. I normally would use the organic soil that I have, but all we have is organic and natural potting mix from fucking Miracle Grow. I don't know what natural means. It doesn't mean organic, I tell you that much. I fucking hate this company. But this is all I had left lying around. That old girl had left lying around for her houseplants. So let's just start the first step. And the first step of this part would be to fill in these 2 squares, okay? Because we still want to be able to bottom water this and not deal with it too much on the top. So we're going to fill in these 2 squares with soil. And then we're going to put a mulch layer around here, like a bottom layer so the worms don't fall through. And as a matter of fact, this whole bag is super dry. Let me give this bag some life. Just putting water in the bag real quick. Nothing crazy. And you really want to compact it with soil. Okay? Because this is going to be the wicking. I'm going to put y'all on. I'm going to show you what it is. Hopefully we can make this into a nice quick video. Alright, so we got that done. You can see we got the 2 squares fully compacted. And what this is going to do when we water from this little drainage hole, the water is going to wick up from the soil and it's going to water everything else, keep it nice and moist. Now we're going to add some bedding. Okay, we're going to use a barley straw. It has mycelium on it. We're going to use the barley straw and I'm just going to go around the hole. Okay, I'm going to go around the hole just so the worms don't fall through the little perforated holes there. So let's go ahead and do that. I've never done this before. I've only looked at it on YouTube. And I'm like, you know what? It'll be nice to have my own little worm bin where I could, you know, have my life reproduce. And I don't even gotta buy worm casting. So we're just going to use a barley straw. Alright? And we're just going to make sure that, you know, that all the little holes are blocked off. We don't want to block the wicking holes with the barley straw because then it'll defeat the purpose. So we're just going to go around it. And this is the Earthbox Junior. I know you guys seen the Earthbox in my granddaddy tent. I got some Earthbox Juniors also. I might even give one away. You feel me? I might give an Earthbox away to people that like to go on 5 gallons. This holds about 5 gallons of soil. And we're not going too crazy. We just want to make it very hard for these worms to fall through the bottom and drown. As you can see, we laid it down completely. We packed it down so no worms are going to wiggle their way through and fucking fall through the bottom. And we left the wicking holes available, which leads us to the next step. Let's get this shit away. The next step would be to get the rest of the soil and just put it on. Now, me personally, I do wish I had more soil, but I don't. So, very simple. Covered it all up with some soil. And I'm going to put my worms on this side. So let's go ahead. And what we're going to be using is Colorado Kawoko worms. Colorado Kawoko worm castings from Build a Soil. And I just opened this shit today. Mind you, I had this bag for 2 months. So I didn't think anything was going to be living in here. But I did see some predator mites. I did find about 6 worms already. And this shit is literally dried out. So these worms are getting a little crispy. So I'm just going to go ahead. And we're going to just go lightly with this. I'm going to spread it across. I'm going to put my worms on one side. I want to see how many worms is in here. I want to try to keep count. We got some worms. I don't know if you guys can see, but we got some worms. They're struggling to live. Like I said, I had this bag for like 2 months. right? This one's nice and alive. Some nice little worms, okay? So I'm gonna try to sift through them and put them all on the side by the drainage hole. I'm gonna try to sift through them. And I know they're gonna be happy in their new home. Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot of worms here. Okay, I'm not trying to get this whole thing saturated where it's going to start leaking through the drainage hole. That is not what we're trying to do, because there's a drainage hole right here. Okay, that's not what we're trying to do. Not right now, by the way. And it's nice to see the worms moving. It's like they activated. Once they got that water, they activated. This is beautiful. This is what we want to see. So now let's go ahead and get some of the food that we're going to use for this. And we're going to go light because there's not that many worms. Right? So we're going to go light. This is what we got here, some seed meal. Okay? So we're going to just go ahead. Just sprinkle it in there. Lightly sprinkle the seed meal on here, as you can see. Nothing too crazy. Their first real feeding. They're going to eat. They're going to love it. And then what we're going to use is some kashi blend. Okay, we're going to use a little bit of kashi. Same thing. Just sprinkle this on here. Give the worms something to eat. Alright. And I'm going to just use a little bit of craft blend. Okay. Just a little tiny bit. Right. And I'm just going to focus on the side where the worms are with the craft blend. Only one little sprinkle. And that's it. We're not trying to make this too volatile, because there's nothing going in here for right now. Of course, if I wanted to, you could put some plants in here. This would be beautiful. This is a great replacement for a 5-gallon container, because you could really load up the top with some food, and you could bottom water, okay? You could actually bottom water with this. And all we're going to do now, we're going to water a little bit. Let's water this, and we're going to put the cap on it. And what the cap is going to do, it's going to block out the light so the worms won't be afraid to get through the top and eat all of this and break it down into fresh castings. And it will keep the humidity and the moisture in there much longer. I wish I put this on the earth box in the tent beforehand, but we live and we learn, right? We live and we learn. So let me go and get this pumped up. But yeah, if I had a chance and I really had to decide between a 5-gallon smart pot, I would easily go for the earth box. Just because you could, it's like a stomach. You know what I mean? You could literally just top layer. You could mound on top if you got the cover. I didn't put the cover on the other tent, but live and learn. So let's do the very last step. And this covering is what's going to make the worms come to the top and eat. Because worms do not like light. They dry out in the sun. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and add this covering here. Right? And also this will help keep anything I don't want out. And that's that. And we're good to go. That just about wraps up this episode. I might have to do a whole separate series on this, but this is it. And we just set up a worm bin. Hopefully these worms go ahead, they reproduce, they eat, they give me fresh worm castings. And it's just another bill I don't want or I don't need. And hopefully I can make my own worm castings and reproduce my own worms and take it from there. And this way I know exactly what I'm getting out of here, right? If I use avocados, or if I use things that are high in phosphorus or high in nitrogen, I know exactly what I'm getting out of my worm castings. So other than that, man, we're using the builder soil way with a little bit of, avocado tech in the future. But we wrapping up this video. It's a nice short video. We'll see how this shit works. It's that plug talk.
I got weed in safes, I got weed in states, I got weed in states, I got weed in vapes, I got weed in case, I got weed in closets, gotta close the drapes. This that plug talk, not no plug walk. You could Google me, that's plug talk. Like 101, this how the plug walk. Kanye shrug walk, you ain't want talk, who to call? Been growing like since a weight talk, a long weight talk. My niggas know what is bait talk, we all late talk, who to call?